Alrighty, so uh, this is a little bit of an early podcast than what I would do on the weekends, but I just want to say I'm happy that the finals are coming back on tomorrow. But before I get into my full breakdown and prediction on who I think is going to win, got a little bit of interesting news to go through. So I'm gonna leave the second interesting part. I'm gonna leave that after this. So this just came out about I think an hour ago that after Game Seven, Chris Paul has reportedly already started recruiting LeBron to come to the Rockets. Okay, I kind of see why he did that because they're best friends and everything. So do I see him fitting there? Yeah, but I was reading an article, and it's like for that to happen, they would have to either trade Anderson and Gordon separately to create cap space for LeBron to come in, and they have to re-sign CP3, and they have to match any contract offer for Clint Capella, or LeBron would have to do a sign and trade, which means he'll sign a contract. He'll sign like maybe like a 3-4 year contract, and then a trade package with Anderson and Gordon and other pieces. So it's like I kind of want to see LeBron in Houston, just to take down Golden State, take down that Empire and everything. But do I see it happening? Kind of. I'll kind of after the season, like when it's close to free agency time, I'll definitely break down where I think each free agent is gonna go. But other than that, I don't really see I don't really see LeBron. I could see it, but they would have to gut too much of the team to make that happen. But this second part, oh man. So everybody with the burner accounts. So NBA Twitter this season has been interesting. First you had KD with the burner account. Then you had Steve Kerr did that too. Kind of leaked out something that was supposed to be for a DM, but it got out on accident. But now it's another one. The Sixers executive. I think that's his title. The Sixers executive, Brian Colangelo, who's kind of like the person. He ain't like Sam Hinkie who came up with that trust in the process, but he helped with part of it. So this just went down like last night that the Ringer put out a story about Colangelo having like 5 separate burner accounts. So now I'm like, okay, why would you tweet out something from different accounts? So this is a quote directly from him. He says, like many of my colleagues in sports, I have used social media as a means to keep up with the news. While I have never posted anything whatsoever on social media, I have used the Phila123456 Twitter account referenced in this story to monitor our industry and other current events. This storyline is disturbing to me on many levels as I am not familiar with any of the other accounts that have been brought to my attention, nor do I know who is behind them or what the motive is or what their motives may be in using them. So reading that, I'm like, okay, so I think he's disabled. All the other accounts. Actually, no, a couple of them are still going. And so I think someone asked him about 2 other accounts, and the other one is Al Vic 40117560, which displays the name Eric Jr. First of all, why are you coming up with these weird account names? I don't understand. Why are you I don't know. Like, obviously those sounds like burner account names with all those numbers after. But so everybody knows Joel Embiid's a troll. You know, probably the biggest troll in the NBA. He responded to the stories that's coming out. Joel, and this is from his actual account. Joel told me Sam Hinkie is better and smarter than you, Al Vic. Hashtag burner account. So he obviously Joel, he doesn't want to believe it. But basically he did these burner accounts to talk about the team. Even before, like talking about when Jahlil Okafor was there, and then Joel Embiid, like he's tweeted about like stuff around the NBA from this account, and I don't know, it's just weird. I don't get it. This is all just funny to me. So I'm gonna read a couple of these tweets. One of them is from February of last year. No, where's the one? Okay, yeah, this was from February of last year. It says JoJo is calling the shots. He is telling Dogs Daily how his knee feels, so blame him. Obviously, like, why would you say that? Like, why would you tweet about that? So obviously he felt some kind of way about Joel last year when he was taking. He only played like 31 games. So obviously it was on him when he picked and choose when to play. But then you got later that same day, both these incidents begs the question how serious is the injury and how serious he's taking the injury. Obviously, again, he's talking about Joel Embiid with the knee injuries and everything. Kind of how, okay, like, are you serious about wanting to actually play and everything? Then May of last year, this was the last tweet of last year. The Rockets had the coach advantage. D'Antoni's the only one who can outsmart Pop. Obviously, so this whole thing is just weird to me. I don't get it. It's dumb. If you think about it, just stay off of Twitter. Because KD got caught doing it, and now he's the meme. Steve Kerr did it. I think everybody just kind of brushed by it, but it's just weird to me. But now, my favorite part. I'm gonna break down the finals. Actually, I'm gonna break down the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. How that went down, if you didn't watch it, if you lived under a rock. And then I'm going to finally get into my predictions. So, I'm going to start with the East. Yeah, start the Eastern Conference. So, Eastern Conference. Obviously, you know, LeBron and them went up against the Celtics. It went 7 games. It was a very interesting series. I didn't think it was going to go 7. I thought they would at least finish them off in 6. But, you know, it's kind of that back and forth. Neither team could beat the other team on the road. And Game 5, I think it was Game 5. Game 5, you know, LeBron went out, but he was exhausted. He played like 40-plus minutes. He was just exerting energy and more energy and more energy. And Game 6, back in Cleveland, he played, I think, 46 minutes, put up 35, 45. He put up in the high 30s to low 40s. Game 7 on the road, you know, your back's against the wall. No Kevin Love. Kevin Love missed Game 6 early. He bumped heads with Jason Tatum, and he went out with a concussion, so he didn't play in Game 7. Jeff Green stepped in. game 6 and 7, gave them about 20 points a game, which was very helpful. George Hill contributed game 6 and 7. He put up, I think George Hill put up 18 in game 7. So it was nice for the role players to actually step up in that role. Now, I give credit to the Boston Celtics. Brad Stevens, to me, he is the best coach in the NBA. He has a fast pop. He's younger, so he still has a lot of years to grow on his on expanding his basketball mind, which I applaud him for. When you look at the team, nobody thought it was going to make it this far. You lost Kyrie, you lost Gordon Hayward the first game of the season, and you still prevailed with this young team of Tatum, who's going to be a superstar, Brown, Rozier, Smart, Horford, Marcus Morris. Like, that team next year, when they're fully healthy, I think they would have, like, within the next 10 years, and they got draft picks this year and like 4 next year and like 3 that year after that. So they got draft picks on top of draft picks on top of draft picks. And I really do applaud them for their effort and just making LeBron, as Brad Stevens said, exert as much energy as humanly possible. But, you know, this is LeBron's 8th straight finals. People were saying, oh, this is his greatest achievement and everything. No, it's not. His greatest achievement is coming back from 3-1. That's his greatest achievement. His second greatest would be that game 6 against Boston in 2012. And then you could put this one maybe third, maybe fourth. Third would be when he went to Detroit, game 5, dropped 46, if I'm not mistaken. He dropped like 46, dropped the last 25. So it's in his top 5. I put it top 5 greatest achievements he's had. But people to say, oh, that's his greatest achievement, you know, with this team and everything they done been through, and this is like their, I think LeBron said this is like their 6th season in one. Man, yeah, this is easily his top 5 greatest achievement that he's earned with this group. And rather if he wins or loses, like, okay, yeah, I'm a LeBron fan, but like nobody expects them to win this. So does it really hurt his legacy for losing a finals that he's the underdog in? It really doesn't, because nobody expects him to win. But if he does somehow pull this off, he pulls this off. Like, I think, like, what else can you say bad about him? What you gonna say? Oh man, 2011. No, if he pulls this off, like, yeah, people still talk about 2011, but it won't be like, oh, you can't be the greatest if you shrunk at a final. I'm like, man, after he lost that finals, he's had the greatest 8-year stretch, 7-year stretch I've possibly seen in basketball. So, because obviously I didn't watch Jordan play. I'm only 22. I didn't have the pleasure to watch Jordan play. Grew up early 2000s, you know, Kobe, Shaq, and all them, Spurs, LeBron, and them. So if LeBron pulls this off, like, can't nobody say nothing to me whatsoever. I don't care what argument you make. He's 6-0, Jordan 6-0, this, that, and third. I don't care. For what LeBron has to do on a night in and night out basis, having to carry the team, literally carry the team on his back, 40 plus minutes, having to, like, it's crazy. I think his playoff minutes are, how many playoff minutes he got? He got about, I think the next closest person is 200 minutes away from LeBron. So that tells you that's like 4 or 5 games worth of playing time that LeBron has. Now, let's go to the Western Conference. I'm kind of disappointed that the Rockets didn't win. I feel like Rockets in Cleveland, it would have been a great series. I would have had LeBron winning that series. Western Conference, KD, he wasn't playing well the first 4 or 5 games. But he soon picked it up. I think games 6 and 7, he kind of, well, not even 6. It's more like game 7 is when he took over because Clay had them 3 early fouls. But I feel bad for the Rockets, especially after that shooting that just happened. You know, they played with so much emotion. Then I think, what was it, game 5, CP3 went down. You know, Houston still managed to win, so now you're up 3-2. You know, game 6 happens, and the Rockets, they came out shooting the lights out first quarter. First half, they made it a great game. Then we all know how the Warriors get the second half. At third quarter is when the floodgates open, and they just took advantage, and they just blew them out. Game 7, same thing happened. Rockets coming out blazing, hitting everything, moving the ball around, great defense all around. Second half happens. Third quarter, floodgates. It really happened when D'Antoni, and this is his fault, D'Antoni put in Ryan Anderson for Clint Capella. So what the Warriors did was they did a pick and roll with Anderson every single time. And that's when Steph caught fire. I think he scored like 14 in the third, like 4-4 from the three-point line. Then the Rockets, they went on a stretch where they missed 27 straight threes. Now, I understand, you know, Daryl Morey, Mr. Analytics. That's his basis. That's D'Antoni's offense, threes and layups. Get up as many threes as possible. Usually when your three's not falling, you just want to see a mid-range just go in. You know, usually if you see like a mid-range or 2 go in, that's when you start getting hot. So I don't know why they didn't go to the mid-range area or driving the basket, because Eric Gordon had a great game. Every time he drove to the basket, it went in or he got a foul. James Harden, I think he led the NBA in free throw attempts and free throws made, I think. So I'm like, okay, the three's not falling. Like James Harden, you went like, I forgot what he went from the 3-point line, like 3 of 12, something like that. Like during the series, you shot under 20% from 3-point line. So if that's not falling, you might want to go to a different strategy. Just go to the line, because when you go to the basket, usually the refs ain't gonna give you the benefit of the call if you're driving to the basket and you get fouled, but you not consistent with driving the ball to the basket. So obviously they're not gonna give you a lot of those calls. But like when you go on a stretch of missing that many threes, you gotta go to something different. And that's what D'Antoni should have told them. When the Warriors were hitting 2s, that's when you should have just kept matching with 2s. When they hit 3s, okay, you can kind of match with the 2s, but don't forget, if you move the ball around, you're gonna end up getting an open 3. So that's what ultimately lost them the game. When they just missed 3s, they just kept shooting and kept shooting and kept shooting and kept shooting. That's not good for you. But like I said, I feel bad for CP3. Like sore hamstring, you know, this is his first time in the conference finals. Like you're right there. And then at the end of game 5, he put up a crazy shot and he pulled his hamstring. But oh man, I just feel bad for him because like he was right there. Like he could have made the finals for the first time. So I don't think we will never know. I think we will sooner or later know how CP3 would be, because ultimately when James Harden wasn't good, that's when you had CP3 as backup. So when CP3 went out, you didn't have that second scorer. You didn't have that second person that could take the load off of you like that. But I think if they was to get LeBron, ultimately, I don't know where LeBron's going to go. Wherever he decides to go, if he did go to Houston, I think that would be, I think they would beat the Warriors if they don't get that team too much. If they get it too much, then they're going to lose. But let me break down the finals. So, 4 straight year of the finals. People don't like it. If you want to beat a man, you got to beat the man. You know, Ric Flair style. Juggernaut in the East, LeBron and the Cavs. Well, really just LeBron. Juggernaut of the West, the Warriors. 4 straight year. I'm going to kind of break down the keys to the game. The key is for the Cavs, just kind of we all know, just let LeBron do all the work on offense because they're going to need to show up on defense because when either Steph, Clay, or KD gets hot from the 3, that's when it's over. They got a rebound. Jeff Green is my X factor for the Cavs. He's going to have to show up. Him and JR and Hill and Korver, that supporting cast is ultimately the X factor outside of LeBron. If they can show up, give you about 10 to 12 points, at least 2 or 3 of them, get you about 10 to 12, you're going to be – I can see the Cavs, and my coworker said the Cavs are winning 6. I see them going 7 just because if them role players can show up on a consistent basis night in and night out. For the Warriors, you can't go ISO. You have to move the ball around. You know, Steve Kerr gave KD that MJ speech. I think it was like, who do you see open? Instead of driving it straight to the basket, you should look first and then move around to get your shot. Just keep doing what you're doing. Move the ball around. Don't go ISO because if you go ISO, you know, everybody else is not involved. As we've seen with that Rockets and Warriors series, you know, the Rockets kind of made them play ISO a little bit. But I think the X factor is going to be Klay Thompson. Because Klay, I think, like, they might do the same strategy as the Celtics do. They're going to throw multiple bodies at him. They're going to make them use as much energy as possible. LeBron's going to have to put up, well, he's going to put up like 35, 9, and 9 a game. So while he's doing that, the Warriors would have to make sure that they shut down everybody else. So I don't think Iguodala's playing, so they might go with that same 5 that they used the past 4 games against the Rockets with Looney in the lineup, which helped with defense. But I think they should go with they should go with Jordan Bell maybe because he's younger and gives them that energy spark. But my prediction, I'm going with heart over head. My head is saying the Warriors is going to win it like 5. But I got this weird feeling just because of the run that he's been on this whole playoffs, night in and night out, scoring 35 plus. I think, and it's just going to come down to the role players, and if Kevin Love plays, hopefully he plays the series. If he can do it, I say the Cavs in 7. It's going to be one of the things where Golden State, they might take it ain't going to be another 3-1 comeback. Nah, it'd be like a 2-2 with game 5 in Oakland. And, you know, Golden State might end up winning or whoever wins that. And then game 6 in Cleveland, it'll be interesting. If Cleveland can win that game 5 in Golden State, I think ultimately they'll win a close one with the Warriors back in Cleveland. But if the Warriors win game 5, I see LeBron having that special performance in game 6 and 7. And I see them winning. I got the Cavs in 7. It's them role players. JR needs to hit his shots. Orvin needs to hit his shots. Jeff Green needs to keep doing what he's doing. Tristan Thompson, need you to guard Looney and all that. Looney or Draymond. Just play some good defense, hold them, chase them off the 3-point line. If they shoot it and they make it, we all know they're all considered bad shots. But when they go in, you can't really complain about anything. But yeah, that's my prediction. I don't know how I'm gonna do the podcast during the final. I'll probably do it like game by game, maybe, or just wait until the weekend to do it. Because I'm doing this before game 1 tomorrow. So I think I'll probably do like game 2, similar to my work schedule. I'll probably do it the day of game 2, and then games 3, 4, 5, and all that until the end. Then after that, after the season, I'll do my prospect breakdown for the upcoming NBA draft that I was supposed to do, but I forgot that the draft is like, I think it's the 21st. So I'll do all that after. And then free agency is after that. So I'll, do a breakdown of who I think is going to go where and all that. Actually, I'll do that prospect. I'll do the NBA prospect thing. I'll turn that into a video instead of a live stream. So, like, comment, and subscribe for whoever watches this after. I accept all kind of feedback, positive and negative. It's whatever. But I will see you guys next time.